What's up, everybody? How you doing? Today I'm going to be giving you my opinions on the step-up seat by Saddlemen. But first, we got to roll that intro.
Riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a YouTube channel, it's the riding down a thing you
Alrighty guys, so first and foremost, if you don't know what bike I currently have this on, I ride a 2020 Harley Davidson Lowrider S. I actually had a similar seat, well, same exact seat, but for a different model bike, so it's not technically the same. But Saddlemen step up on a Dyna Super Glide Custom, which was my first Harley that I ever bought a few years ago. So I have a little bit of experience with this. I put about 1,000 miles on the Dyna with it, and I'm up to about 1,300 or 1,400 miles with the step up on my M8 Lowrider S. So if you don't know too much about this seat, it's obviously by the company Saddlemen. It's called a step-up seat, and it's a two-up seat. However, I would not recommend it if you're buying it specifically to do two-up riding. There are a lot better options from Saddlemen and some other companies for two-up majority riding. This is just very small, and the butt cheeks of the passenger hang off the side, and after a few minutes, it gets very uncomfortable for them. It's worth telling you in the beginning of this that this seat has a medical grade gel in the actual rider seat over the foam, and then you can pay a little bit extra to have it put on the passenger part as well. I didn't pay for it either because I'm not going to be doing really any two-up riding with this seat at all. If I ever take my wife somewhere, it's probably going to be in the next like year or two-ish, and it's going to be very little point A to point B, if at all. So to me, it wasn't worth the extra. I think it's like 40 or 50 bucks to put it on. But if that's something that you want, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, for my purposes, this will do just fine. It does have pretty much a 90-degree backrest, and almost all parts of this are completely customizable. So if you want to do like a quick ship model that some places have in stock, it'll come in like all black, certain variations. They'll have what's called tuck and roll. They have what they call the lattice stitch, which is like this diamond pattern that I have. But basically this back, if you do it through a custom company, like I believe Lucky Speed Shop does it, Speed Kings does it, Get Lowered does it. Those are just the ones off the top of my head that does it. You can order directly through Saddlemen and do it, but this fabric in the back is customizable, a lot of different colors, as well as the stitching. Obviously, this piece is customizable with different colors, and then this piece is customizable with different colors as well. Stitching all different. You can get different materials and different patterns for this back support. If you're really into doing hooligan stuff and you're ripping dank nooners all across the street, they have a very grippy part that's going to grip to your shoe a lot better. If you're doing, if you're putting your shoe or your knee in this area, it's going to grip a lot better than just this. They have a bunch of different color material as well as color stitch options for you. And obviously I went with the all black material with white stitching all around, and I did the white Saddlemen logo. And for those of you who don't know, my bike, obviously right now, if you know what a 20 Lowrider S looks like, it's in a black and like that bronzish look, like the deep dark bronze, but that is not what I want to keep it as. I want to do a black and white, some sort of geometric paint scheme in a couple years. It's last on the list right now of things to do to the bike, but that is a long-term goal. So I got this with the end in mind. In short, I absolutely love this seat. If you're curious about how it fits on the bike and all that kind of stuff, and you want to, for whatever reason, see my unboxing and putting it on the bike, behind me is my unboxing video and install of this. It's an incredibly easy install. Any seat switch is an incredibly easy install, and it'll take you a couple minutes, and that's about it. But the best part about this seat, besides the added comfort and the kind of tapered inner part of it that lets you sit a little bit more comfortable on the bike and lets your thighs relax a little bit more at stoplights and stuff like that, is obviously this big old backrest. But this does help a lot as far as keeping your back planted, and what it really helps and what it's mostly designed for is when you're accelerating really hard, or maybe lifting the front end a little bit and just really plowing through turns and accelerating and really just beating the tar out of the bike. This is going to just glue you into that seat. So the way it sits on the bike is kind of slanted. It sits almost like this, so your butt is planted smack dab right in the middle of that crease. And when you accelerate and you pull through a turn hard, or you get on it, you just get pushed right into that back, and you're not going anywhere. You just stay 100% planted in the seat. You feel one with the bike, and it's really, really good. A lot of you are probably interested in how it affects the seating position and the ergonomics while you're sitting on the bike. while I cannot show you a ton of different bikes, unfortunately, with it, I can show you my 20 Lowrider S with the stock seat and this step up. So I'll go ahead and show you a couple pictures now and video just of me fiddling around with the controls, just so you can kind of get an idea of where the positions are. And if you could see, just kind of get a feel for how the seat actually impacts the rider position in the triangle. And for reference, I am 5'8", 5'9"-ish sometimes. So here you go. Something that's really interesting about this seat, and it might be other seats too, but this is obviously the only one that I have a decent amount of experience with, is that it doesn't get as hot as the stock seats when left out in the sun, which doesn't sound like too big of a deal until you hop off the bike, go inside a convenience store for a Gatorade on a really, really hot day, and you come out and that heat just shoots straight through your jeans and your butt's on fire. That is a terrible feeling, and it just makes you so hot. So the cool thing about these, and I believe it's due to the medical grade gel that's in there, it just dissipates the heat better. I actually did a test to prove my hypothesis, and thankfully I was right and I don't look stupid about it, but it does feel cooler. It feels noticeably cooler. So earlier today, because it's about midnight now, earlier today I took this seat and the stock Lowrider S seat outside, and they were in the exact same sunlight. They were right next to each other. I took the temperatures immediately after putting them out there. I just set them up to the temperatures immediately, and then I took them in increments. I did a couple 5-minute increments, and then when it started getting like cloudy on and off, I just let them sit for about 2 hours until most of the clouds passed. Really let the heat soak into there and let it bottle up as much heat as possible. It's also worth noting these are both black seats, so they're not going to be as cool as if you were to get like a solid white seat or even like a lighter color or anything in general, but it is cool to know that the Saddlemen does not hold heat as much. Also worth noting, see it in I think 1 or 2 of the pictures I grabbed of it, the passenger seat, in the passenger spot in this seat, like I said, mine does not have the gel upgrade to the passenger seat, so it's the regular foam. In the sun, the passenger part was around the same temperature as the Lowrider stock seat, while the gel portion of the step-up was cooler. So again, I think it's due to the medical grade gel. I haven't talked to anybody at Saddlemen because it's not that important to me, but it's cool knowing that it happens and you'll actually feel it as the rider, because I felt it now with 2 different step-up seats on 2 different bikes. It's a noticeable difference. So I'll show you those pictures that I took earlier now of the temperature differences. Alright, if you are curious where to get this or where to do one of those custom builds that I was telling you about for this seat, you can go ahead and check down in my description of this video. I'm going to post a couple different links from a couple different companies as well as Saddlemen themselves. Most of them will have the option to get like the quick shipped as also just in like the all black or the standard kind of typical configurations of it. If you don't really care about doing anything custom, you can always do that. Also, your local Harley dealership we'll do a customization on the seat as well and order directly through Saddlemen for you also. So I know some people have some coupons to Harley. I did specifically when I got this, so I went through my local dealer, but they'll cover shipping and everything to you as well. So sometimes it works out being cheaper going directly through Harley versus going through the third parties, which typically will be cheaper if you got a coupon. And I don't really talk about it that much, but I also have an Instagram. So go ahead and follow me or check out my page. It's Ridin Dad on Instagram as well. I haven't been posting that much, but I really got to try to get better in the social media aspect of it. I spend all my time on YouTube trying to do these videos and respond to other people and watch other people's content because I want to support other people as well as learn other stuff and enjoy content for myself as well. That's about all I have for the seat, guys. Please leave your comments, questions, anything you want down below. I will love to answer them and talk with you guys about it. All in all, this is a very good seat. I do not foresee myself getting any other seat ever for any other bike unless I want to go with a completely different style, like a single seat or something like that. And even then, I'll probably try to stick with Saddlemen as best as I can because I really like their customer service end of it and their products are incredibly good. These seats, when you get them, they do take about 1,000 miles to break in. Saddlemen, I believe Saddlemen's site says 1,000 to 1,500 miles to break in. There is a little bit of a difference that you won't really notice right off the bat because you're gradually breaking it in. But basically, they're real stiff when you first get them, which is good. You want it stiff. You want the pan of it to be nice and stiff and just the foam to flex and everything. That's a mark of a good quality seat, which is a big difference between most of the stock Harley seats and then aftermarket seats like the Saddlemen. But that gel takes time to kind of mold to you and have the weight of you and all of that stuff, break it down a little bit to get to where it's optimally comfortable for the rider. And Saddlemen again says it's like about 1,000 to 1,500. So if you've tried one of these or sat on it at a dealer or anything like that and you think it was just too hard and uncomfortable, I would encourage you to give it a second try. I know companies like, I believe the only one I can think of right now is Lucky Speed Shop. They're doing kind of like a rent to own almost kind of thing. I'm not sure the prices, but basically you pay them some fee or whatever to kind of try out the seat. And if you like it, you keep it and you pay the rest of it or whatever. And if you don't like it, you can send it back. So that's a good way. I wish more people would do that and more places would offer different kinds of seats because just like helmets and seats and stuff like this, it's a very personal preference and it's really hard for people to get a good feel for when they're not allowed to test it out. Some Harley dealerships will have some Saddlemens available for you to test ride. I know mine used to a couple years ago. For whatever reason, they don't have it now, or at least they're just out of stock for the past couple of months when I've been in. So I do encourage you to give it a try, or if you heard anybody talk any kind of crap about it, ask them how many miles they have on it, because sometimes people are really quick to just spout off that they hate it and they only gave it, you know, maybe an hour try or something like that. So for me, I was lucky with it. I didn't experience any uncomfortableness with it. Both seats that I had from the get-go for this bike and my Dyna, I was comfortable the whole time on it and I never had any issue. I will say that you do notice it gets more comfortable. It's a little bit more squishy and a little bit more padding feel, if that makes sense. So it does help. It does make a difference. Give it a chance. Try to break it in. Otherwise, it's a good seat. Again, no passengers for this seat. This is not my recommendation. You could even ask my wife if you ever met her. She absolutely hated this seat as a passenger. There is just not enough room to be comfortable on this for a passenger. So please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and turn on post notifications. Please like this video if you thought it was good. Go ahead and comment, all that jazz. Check out my other videos. At the end of every video, there's going to be some videos recommended for you, and also my last video that I uploaded prior to the one that you're watching currently. Please go ahead and check those out every time. It really does help me out. Refer a friend, all that jazz. A lot of good stuff. Important stuff to come, so don't miss a video, and I will see you on the next one, guys. Until then, ride safe, have fun, Dad out.